Hey guys, my name is Ola Diamonds. I'm the strategist, and over like a decade and a half experience in the HR professional world, and I'm sure there are questions that will be on your mind, and that is what I want to answer in this particular video today. And the question is, why is it that many software developers they earn less than their peers in the industry? Yeah, and this data is not what you want to argue. It is something you can Google out there, and if you have insider information like mine, who I have done a lot of compensation benchmark for many startups in the industry, I can tell you right away that being a software developer is not any advantage for you to earn more in the industry today. So I want to spend time to help you, particularly if you're a young developer, you're just coming into the industry, or you're an experienced developer and you're struggling to break that ceiling to earn more in your career. What are the things that are hampering you, that are stopping you today from getting there? And they are not myths, these are practical things, like from the professional angle. And take note, I'm speaking today from professional angle of being an HR VP in a startup environment, and also my experience in doing compensation benchmark for several companies, and also having access to a lot of salary benchmark across people that work in this technology sector. Yeah, so today I heard a lot of people talk about it. You want to earn a lot of money, be a software developer, but when you put software developers together, across the chain, you realize that only few percentage of them actually earn a lot of money, and there are things that lead a lot into that. And you know what to do? You can verify yourself. Take developers at random that today, those who started their career with other counterparts of theirs, and 3 years down the line, check the developers and check all their peers. You realize that majority of them don't earn as much as people really talk about. So because of that, I tell people that before you go to that industry, before you become a software developer, which is today a sought after industry because they solve a lot of problems for our world, these are the things that you must add a lot into your arsenal. And you are going to enjoy that. I'll be sharing 7 things, that actually impact you today. But I will spend a lot of time on the first one. Then if I have time, then I will come back again to talk about the rest later. So pay attention to this and let's ride on into the journey. Right? Cool. So welcome back, guys. So my name once again is Ola Diamonds. I'm called the strategist, and take note, I'm speaking about this in the capacity of a very senior HR professional. So number one reason why software developers earn less than their counterparts in the industry is because of that lack of business knowledge. Did I shock you? Yeah, lack of business knowledge. And I'll mention something that I want you to pay attention to. If you are a young developer or you are at mid-level in your career and you're struggling to break that ceiling. Yeah, I realize today that most software developers spend a lot of their time about their technology, and they forget that part of the business that are very much important. Guess what today? Simple, what does business do? Business create value for their users, and their users pay them back, and the business, they are able to generate cash for them to pay salary. Yeah, so which means the major part of the job is not about doing the job, it's about being able to get customers that want your service, because what is the value of a product that you develop and no customer is using that product. So if you are growing your career today as a software developer, I want to beg with you, be interested in how your company make money. Make sure that you plug yourself in that place where the company is generating revenue. Understand your revenue generation channel. Very important. That is number one. I want you to pay attention to. Try to ask questions. How do we make money? Ask questions. How do we generate money? Ask a question. How do we drop our cost here? It is important. It's not just about you coding. You must have an understanding of how money is being made in that company. Right? The second thing you want to pay attention to in this area of business knowledge is that it's good for you to understand the profit and loss. How do you make profit? If somebody says that we're not making money, we're losing money, how do you know that we are really losing money in such a way that you are able to add value to that company when they are losing money? The reason is that as a software developer, if you understand that your company is losing money, you are able to provide solution to that company on the best way to go to the market. Right? If you don't have understanding of that, you will just keep on building and building and building and adding more to the cost of that company. In turn, guess what happened? Most of the developers are fired. Now, what is the third thing you want to pay attention to that helps your business knowledge? That thing is, please, as a software developer, have understanding of your user. Be solution oriented. Nobody cares about the technology stack if it does not add value to the user. Let me give an example. This is an iPhone with me. I don't care about how this iPhone was developed. What I care about is that the camera is working. What I care about is that I put on the flash and the flash comes on. What I care about is that I swipe up and the phone responds to me. The details of the technology, you can save that for your back-end conversation. So most times, software developers are so much engrossed in the technical details when you are talking to the users, and users are not interested in that. What you are interested in is the experience, is the functionality. It is the product meeting my intent, meeting my purpose, solving my problems for me. Yeah. So most times, an industry I've worked for, companies I've worked for, companies I've consulted with, I realized that sometimes when you're speaking with developers, when you're trying to develop a solution, sometimes people get so much engrossed in technology that sometimes you want to go from A to B, and the way to go to A to B is just easy peasy. Why go from A to Z, from Z to Q, from Q to X, then from X now back to B, when all the thing that the users want actually is B? Yeah. If I want B, just give me B and let me go. You don't have to waste my 6-month time to take me to Q before you bring me back to B. So understanding what users really want and being engrossed with your user is going to stand you out as a software developer. Remember, once again, the intent of this video is to help you as a software developer to be able to grow yourself, to add business value in such a way that you can earn a lot of money. Yeah. Now, what is the fourth thing you want to understand in the area of the business? Yeah. Do not be a business developer and just want to be a standalone person. Build team management skills. Yeah. The reason is that I want to give you these two scenarios. Imagine you're a developer and you can solve most of my problems. Yeah, developer A, you can solve most of my problem, maybe 80% of my problem. However, you're a developer B, you can solve 50% of my problem, but you know how to put people together to solve 90% of my problem. Which one will I pay more? I will pay more the second guy that can aggregate people together to solve more problems for me. So as a developer A, who is 70% capable, and developer B, who is 90% capable, if A has team management skills and can get more people to solve a particular problem, the developer A will be more paid than developer B. And it just makes practical sense, because who will help me to make more money is the person I will put a lot of value on. And that's the way it works. You can argue, but that is the reality of the business environment today. Yeah, that is the fourth skill that you want to build in the business environment. Now, what is the fifth skill you want to build? Is the ability to communicate. Yeah, I've been in a situation whereby we have to travel and go with our developer to have some conversations, because sometimes when you're having some kind of business review, some users or some clients want to have a bit of design as part of the conversation. Having a developer in the room who is able to articulate helps you a lot. Such kind of developers are more paid. Yeah, so do not stay at the backside of the room. Right? I can give you an exception to that. There are few technical guys that just want to stay technical and they don't want to grow all these other skills, and they want to stay where they are. And few of these guys are the 1% of the 1% that are extremely very technical and they still find a way to grow their salary. But guess what? I want to work with that exception. I will work with what is more general in terms of the data in the space. Yeah, I don't want to make an exception, except you want to make yourself that exception to the rule, then that is fine. However, you want to grow yourself, you want to improve your value, you want to be able to improve how much you make, then be interested and build your communication skill. How do you articulate your solution is the power of communication that becomes important. Remember these 5 things once again. You need to understand, how does your company generate revenue? You need to be able to have a brief understanding, of course, not as a finance person, what profit and loss means to the company, what cash, what revenue, what does it mean to the company. The third thing, you want to be engrossed and understand the users, what the users want. And you want to be solution oriented, not being problem focused in this case. Number 4, you want to build your team management skills, and build it on top of your current stack. And the 5th one is that ability for you to communicate you must be able to communicate effectively because it becomes important, because you are able to help more people to be able to solve problems, and you are also able to get more people to buy into whatever solution you are trying to build. Now, this is the reason why business knowledge becomes important for you as a software developer. And remember, this is not only applicable to you as a software developer, it's a requirement today for any profession if you want to grow yourself to the top of your career and earn a lot of money. So the focus today is that what helps you to earn a lot of money. So let me just round this up and to tell you some other things that you want to do that will help you make a lot of money. Remember, the big one I tried to explain so far is the part of understanding your business environment, to understand your business in terms of how we make money and how my business run. Now, the other thing that you want to keep in mind as software developers of the thing that helps you earn a lot of money is that please be watchful. Don't just be a generalist. Try to niche yourself as a developer. Oftentimes, when you're starting your career, there's a tendency that you want to learn everything. Yeah, you just want to know everything. It is always good. That's what we call that T-shaped kind of skill building. However, remember that it is a depth that people pay for, not the breadth. The breadth is what makes me call you into a conversation, but what will make me come over to you again and again is your depth, right? So it's not a matter of the number of stacks that you know, it's how well do you know the stack that you know. So I would rather prefer that you spend more time to go deeper into understanding your stack instead of adding more stack to your stack. Yeah, I will remember you for the problem that you solve for me, not how much that you know. This becomes important. And my quote for you here is that don't be known for everything. Make sure you are known for something. Yeah? Because if you are known for everything, people remember you for nothing. But when you are known for something, I can remember you for everything, because I know that you can't solve this problem for me, and because of that, I can bring you into other kind of problems. So please, I beg with you as a developer, spend a lot of your time to build your core and your depth while you're trying to add more stack to your stack to build your width. Now, I'll talk about two more things that will help you, and the reason why you as a developer, you have been struggling to improve your career, to improve yourself in terms of how much money that you make. And that is what I call the power of negotiation. In this, my over a decade and a half experience, I've seen difference between somebody that earned £3,000 and somebody that earned £5,000 at the negotiation table. Yeah, I've seen difference between somebody that earned 1 million naira for somebody that earned 500,000 naira based on the power of negotiation. Negotiation I'm talking about is not just somebody bringing an offer to you and you say, no, I don't want it, I want something more. No, there are tactics to negotiation. This is why it is important for you as a developer to have a mentor, to have a coach, to have people that you speak with that can guide you. Because sometimes understanding that company, understanding that industry helps you a lot to know how much that industry is capable of paying you. Because sometimes a sector pays more for the same role. Let me give an instance. An HR manager in the manufacturing industry, an HR manager, the same HR manager in the finance sector, the same HR manager in an investment sector, the same manager in an insurance sector, the same HR manager in an energy sector, they earn different amount of money. The same skill, the same experience, the same person, because the sector play a major role. And sometimes within the same sector, there are companies that pay differently compared to others. For example, not all banks pay on the same salary scale. Some banks pay more compared to others. How would you know how much they pay? How much do you know how much they can afford? How much do you know how to negotiate? This is where somebody really comes to play. So please, as a software developer, do not just believe it's all about how much you know. How much you know is important, but how much you know is not just enough for you to earn a lot of money out there. If you are missing out on your power of negotiation, check what? Guess what? You are shortchanging yourself. I can tell you that for free. You must have been shortchanging yourself over time. Yeah, and also in the part of negotiation, also that's also where your power of knowing when to move from one company or the other to the next one also comes to play. If you don't know when to move, the timing of your movement, you are going to get to a point whereby you plateau in your salary scale. What is the last one? The last thing I want to tell you today about why software developers don't earn a lot of money, why many of them, majority of them actually earn small amount of money. Majorly is because of the power of networking. Yeah, I want to beg with you. This is where I'm handing this one. I want to beg with you, that the best of developers out there that make a lot of money, they come from referral. Yeah, this is why I want to advise you. If you have to pay for some tech meet, please go there. Do not spend all your time in the room and nobody knows you. There's a power of being visible. There's a power of putting yourself out there. That developer that put himself out there will most likely earn more money because he's adding something to his skill set, which is called leadership and visibility. Yeah? Please attend tech conferences. Please attend, contribute to, for example, an open source project. Try to seek mentorship. Oftentimes I reach out to many professionals out there today and say, let's try to find a way to coach younger people. And I realize that the people that have most resistance from are developers. Yeah, this shouldn't be, because if you don't find a way to replicate yourself out there, you are not able to build your leadership skill. If you don't build that, you don't have visibility. If you don't have visibility, who will know you? Except there's a job opening and you apply and you get the job. But guess what? One of the best of the jobs out there, they are most times not publicized out there. When they are publicized, sometimes it's just for that short time frame. But when you have somebody within your network who knows you and who knows the value that you bring, it adds a lot of difference to you as individual. I hope that it really makes sense to you. Remember, once again, the core of this conversation is that as a software developer, if you want to earn a lot of money, business knowledge comes to play. You must understand your business. You must understand your business very well in terms of the business environment and how the business really operates. Don't be engrossed in your code and you forget the business you are working for. It is like you don't know the purpose of why you are coding in the first place. You are coding to solve problems. If you don't know the problem you are trying to solve, then guess what? How do you add value to that business? And that is how it really works. Then other things I've talked about, remember, is that don't be a generalist. Yeah? Don't just be a generalist. Try to niche yourself. Be known for something. Yeah? And I talk about the power of negotiation, and the last one is the power of your network. It will make all the difference for you. If you pay attention to this and you can break this rule for yourself as a software developer, guess what? Even if you are just starting your career, you will put yourself on a rocket speed career growth in terms of how you grow in your career and how much money that you make. My name once again is Sola Diamonds. I'm called The Strategist because I help people to move from where they are to where they want to be. If you seek mentorship, you need somebody to help you, to guide you along the path of your career, feel free to reach out to us. You can drop a comment in the chat box. I can connect you to industry leaders that can also help your career to grow. That is what we do in People Arm, and that is the value we bring to you as a company. Yeah? So remember, once again, we like to say this. We meet you at the top because that is where we are going to be. Your dreams are valid. Go ahead out there, slash the salary ceilings. Yeah? You deserve it. Have a lovely day. Bye.